On this video, we're going to do a simple demonstration of a chemical reaction using, little plastic gems that I got out of my kids' toys. And I want to kind of walk through a simplification of what dynamic equilibrium really looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume that these gems are reactants and products. And whether they're on this side or this side will dictate if they're a reactant or a product. And we're going to have a series of exchanges, and I'd like you to record the number in the table provided that we have of reactants and products. So initially, in the initial line, we'll have 40 reactants and 0 products. At each exchange, we'll take half of the reactants we have and they'll transfer and become products, and a quarter of the products will become reactants. So let's start out with our first transfer. We've got 40 reactants and 0 products. We'll have an exchange where we take half. I'm going to count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So here's 20. And I'm going to take 0 from my products and I'm going to exchange them at the same time. So now I have 20 reactants and 20 products. Okay, let's do a second exchange. So our reaction's kind of kicking along. So half of my reactants again are going to form products. I'm going to count out 10. So here's 10, and a quarter of my products are going to become reactants. And so I'll count out 5. All right, I'm going to exchange these at the same time. And now we're going to record the amount of reactants and products we have. So we now have 15 reactants and we should have 25 products. We exchanged 10 reactants went to the product side and 5 products went to the reactant side. All right, let's do another exchange. So half of 15, we're always going to round up when we get a 0.5 because I can't cut these little plastic things in half. So if I have 15, I'm going to round that up to 8 for half instead of 7.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And half of 25 is going to be 12.5. So I'm going to round that up to 13. Oh, sorry, we don't want half. We want a quarter. A quarter of 25 is going to be it's going to be 6.25. So I'm going to round that up to 7. All right, so I'm going to transfer 7 products and 8 reactants. So now on my reactant side, I have 14. And on my product side, I should have 26. Yep, 26. All right, so let's do this again. I'm going to take half of my reactants. So that's 7. I'm going to take a quarter of my products. So that's 26 divided by 4. That's 6.5. So I'm going to round that up to 7. Okay, so I've got 7 reactants and 7 products exchanging. So that means I'm going to have 14 reactants again and 26 products again. I'm going to do this again, another exchange. So half of my 14 is 7. 25% of my 26 is 7. I'm going to exchange 7 to each side. And I have 14 reactants and 26 products. Hopefully you're seeing a pattern now. If I do this again, half of my reactants is 7. A quarter of my products is 7. If I exchange them, I have 14 reactants and 26 products.